everyone, it's me again, Chocolate Geisha, back for another video, so thank you for tuning in, and I am so excited to bring you guys this very interesting topic that I have discovered recently. Japan is known for being extremely homogeneous. People here are ethnically Japanese, most of them anyway. However, in the past year that I was an English teacher, I really enjoyed seeing the diversity among my students. Yes, they're all Japanese, but there are so many differences between their facial features, eyes, lips, nose, even their hair color sometimes, skin color even. There are so many differences among them. And I didn't know until recently that there are actually terms used for these differences in their phenotypes. Today I'm going to be talking about the many faces of Japan. These terms are used by Japanese people to define themselves, and most Japanese people would consider themselves at least one of these types. Today, I've rated them from most Japanese to least Japanese or most foreign looking. I'll include some pictures so you guys can see too. This system is particularly interesting to me because the way that they rate themselves is based on seasonings, condiments, and sauces. I know, super weird, right? But when I read more about it in the article, it made more and more sense. So I really want to share that with you guys today, and I'm sure you'll find it interesting too. All right, let's get started. Number 1 is shoyugao, or soy sauce face. So soy sauce as a sauce is extremely Japanese. It is the base of so many Japanese dishes. When you say soy sauce, you think Japan. This totally defines what the look is as well. The soy sauce face is extremely Japanese. The eyes tend to be thin and narrow. The nose tends to be straight, usually pretty narrow at the tip. The soy sauce face does not have very wide set features. Instead, everything is very close. Everything tends to be very right snatched in the middle of their face. Number 2 is miso gao, or miso face. I'm sure many of you know that miso is another characteristically Japanese paste that is used in so many Japanese foods, and it's known for its really strong flavor. And that strongness is also seen in the faces of people with miso gao, or miso face. Like soy sauce face, the eyes are long and narrow. However, the nose tends to be slightly larger and the bridge may be a little bit raised. The miso face is another stereotypically Japanese face and is very common among Japanese people. Number 3 is satogao, or sugar face. Everybody knows sugar is sweet, and that is exactly how this face looks. The face is very babyish, very youthful, young looking, cute, very Japanese as well. The eyes are still long and narrow, however they may be slightly rounded with a defined monolid. The nose is still straight, very young looking, very youthful, very fresh. Girls with this face tend to be extremely popular with the boys because this face is the kawaii, cutesy face. Number 4 is shiogao, salt face. Shiogao is easily defined as being very flat. The eyes are still very thin, but the monolid is slightly thicker. The nose bridge is extremely flat, and the tip of the nose may be slightly bulbous. The features of the shiogao tend to be quite wide set. This is another standard Japanese face. A lot of people have it. However, it's also very common in other Asian countries. Number 5 is mayonnaise-gao, mayonnaise face. So mayonnaise has a sweet but mild flavor, and even though it's very foreign, it's used very commonly on traditional Japanese foods like takoyaki, okonomiyaki. It's also used on pizza here. And that sweet, mild flavor can be seen in the faces of people with mayonnaise-gao. The eyes are narrow, sometimes can be slightly close set. The nose is straight, however, it can have a slightly taller bridge. This is a face that is also very common among Japanese people. Number 6 is sugao, or vinegar face. Vinegar is a very sour, is it a condiment? Is it a sauce? The vinegar paste has eyes that are thin. The nose bridge is also quite tall. However, something characteristic of the vinegar paste is that it's very plain, often expressionless, very neutral. This is a face that is very common with other Asian nations as well. Number 7 is Ketchup gao, or ketchup face. Although ketchup, in most senses, is very un-Japanese, it is loved by Japanese people for its tangy flavor and its interesting mix between sugar and sauce. This can be seen with people who have the ketchup face. The eyes tend to be quite round like the sugar face, however, the monolid is still quite visible. The nose bridge is quite tall, but it may be bulbous at the tip. The features are very strong and can be considered exotic by Japanese standards. Last but not least is number 8, and that is sosugao, or sauce face. And by sauce, I mean Worcester sauce. Worcester sauce is a foreign condiment used most commonly in Japan on tonkatsu pork. Sosugao is considered the least Japanese of the bunch. And if you have a sosugao, most people will probably ask you if you are Japanese or if you're mixed with another ethnicity, because the people with sosugao look very un-Japanese. The eyes tend to be sunken ever so slightly, however they are very bold. They may or may not have a monolid. They have a double lid in some cases. The nose is standing tall and tends to look slightly Western and even Middle Eastern. And the sosugao is known for having very sharp features. And those are the many faces of Japan. So if you ever come here, have a little look around as you're meeting people. Try and take note of the different features they have, and maybe you can see what kind of face they have. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, then like it. And if you want to see more, then hit subscribe and become part of the YouTube fam. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one.